So it's been said a lot that one of the reasons that non-league football is growing and it's on the rise is because of the fact that it's not completely centred around money. The Premier League, people getting alienated, top levels of the game, people aren't really buying into the fact that it's just all based around money, and they want something different. They don't want a completely money absorbed game, so they drop right down to non-league. When you think about it more and more, is that actually still a thing? Is money actually impacting non-league more than we think? We're going to be exploring that in this video. So yeah, remember to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with more videos like this one. And let's get straight into it. So up in the Premier League this season, even the teams that are getting relegated are going to be taking home around £100 million in TV money. BT have a TV deal with the National League, but the amount that non-league clubs get in the National League in comparison to the Premier League is absolutely non-comparable. However, there's a lot of non-league clubs nowadays that have budgets on the playing side of over £1 million. That's crazy money, and it's far beyond what the money that they get through the turnstiles is. When more and more clubs doing this, it's becoming even harder to get promoted. If a player is being paid £50 a week at one club, but they can go to another club and earn £60 a week, then they might just go and do that. A lot of players will, because it is money. At the end of the day, Shrewsbury Town striker Stefan Payne was quite vocal about this on Twitter. He basically played in non-league for quite a long time, eventually playing for Dover Athletic and making a lot of appearances for them, scoring a lot of goals in the National League, earning himself a move up to the Championship with Barnsley. He's then gone on loan to Shrewsbury, where he currently is. And he basically said if he was offered more money to go to somewhere else, then he's obviously going to take it, because it is just a job. To a footballer, they've got to make ends meet, they've got to pay their mortgages, they've got to pay their bills. And he also said that players leaving their club in non-league and going, be that to another non-league club or up to the Football League, it's not just someone going for the money in a negative way. They're going there because it is going to help them financially. People overlook this fact. In other jobs, members of the public, football fans, if you're offered more money to go to another company doing the same job potentially at a better club, at a better company, then the majority of people are going to take that opportunity. Now, money isn't necessarily a negative thing in non-league. It is still a positive thing in many aspects. For example, paying for infrastructure such as new facilities for youth teams in the local community, because non-league clubs are there a lot of the time to serve the local community, and that is what a lot of non-league clubs still do. And also a lot of non-league clubs investing on improving their stadium, improving the infrastructure at the ground, making new stands, building new stadiums, making things that are going to last for the future, leaving a legacy. If the money was to disappear, they still have these stadiums, they still have these facilities. The appeal for a lot of fans was to pay their money through the gates at a non-league ground and know that that money is actually going to have a really positive and big impact on what that football club does, on its survival, on it's going to go on to paying the players, that sort of thing. In the Premier League, that's totally irrelevant, because all the money comes through sponsorships, it comes through TV deals, and you pay massive amounts for tickets to get into the games, but really that money does not have any sort of effect on the team. When a lot of National League clubs have budgets that are over £1 million, it does leave you with that thought in your mind of what happens if the owner leaves. When these clubs are being solely funded by one man at the top of the club, it makes you worry if this man gets bored or if he runs out of money. Where does that leave the club? It can leave them completely in peril a lot of the time. There are plenty of examples of this happening in the likes of Kettering, Rushden and Diamonds, Darlington, Hereford. There's so many examples where financial mismanagement just absolutely kills a club. And again, that's a negative effect of money. Now, this sort of thing is actually really well regulated in the Premier League and Football League by financial fair play regulations. Now, you think that in non-league this wouldn't be needed, but right now, in my opinion, I think it really is, because of the amount of overspending, unsustainable spending that clubs are making compared to their revenue, which is how financial fair play works in the Premier League and Football League. Teams are getting a really unfair advantage just off financial input. Is that something that should be brought into play? Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this whole situation. Should financial fair play be brought into non-league football? And what are your thoughts on non-league clubs spending a lot of money? It is showing ambition for them to gain promotion and progress as a football club, but when things go wrong, is it really worth that risk to allow clubs to spend ridiculous amounts of money? Clubs that have been supported by loyal fans for decades, just seeing one man come into the club, overspend to an unsustainable level, and then leave the club in total peril. It's heartbreaking to see when that happens, so should more be done to stop it? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit that like button and subscribe. And yeah, hope to see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.